Welcome to Soulful Stimulation with your girl, your host, Chevelle Simone here, rocking the microphone on IntellectualRadio.com, where we maintain to feed your brain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We want to be in the mix, and we want to help you with your mental fit here on IntellectualRadio.com. I am so glad you decided to join us. I'm always appreciative of your support and all the love you show me here on Soulful Stimulation, where there's always a good conversation with great impartation. Welcome to today's show. I got a great guest with me today. My little sister is in the house, Miss Paris Johnson. I'm going to introduce her momentarily. So we're here every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock p.m. here on IntellectualRadio.com. So let's stimulate as we educate you here on Intellectual Radio. I'm so grateful for every sponsor. I want to send a shout out to all my sponsors today. Get them out the way so we can get on with the show and this conversation about toxic relationships. And before I get a little started, I want one of my producers to know that I'm going to be calling her up to do some questions for me. Miss Janae, Marquia Janae. I'm going to have her on the show with me today. Yes, we're going to be sharing the microphone. That's my girl. We're going to be switching some seats on around here. We're going to be playing musical chairs with some of my producers today to, because we all have had toxic relationships. We have all had issues. We have all had felt like we have had some failure, some droughts, some highs in our relationships, and all of a sudden it just felt like a little roller coaster. So she's very astute, very smart and loving, and she has her own podcast and stuff like that. So I'm going to be calling her up a little bit later just to probably ask you some questions and see what we can get out of you. And so get your lip gloss ready. My kid Janae in the house. So let me get to my drops today and get to my great sponsors. I want to say thank you to all my friends, all my families, all the businesses that has given to me. Kathy Clifton, Catherine Brown, Belinda Cullins, Deidre Blair, Sharice Roberts, Sharice Alexander. All the people has given to, I hope I have not forgotten anybody who has given to the show this week. Thank you so much. So Sacred Memories Funeral Home. They're located at 2024 East 75th Street in Chicago, Illinois, near the corner of 75th and Jeffrey. Please contact Ms. Tawana Collins and her wonderful staff at 773-667-8600 at Sacred Memories Funeral Home. Your loved ones will always remain sacred. You can also contact Dr. Arnold Hoskins. Why do I always do that? And he's like an extra friend of mine. When I say extra, he'll be like, I can't believe you can't get my name right. He's a counselor, a chaplain, a coach, and a public speaker. Connect with Dr. Hoskins at 312-388-8396 or via his website at www.arnoldhoskins.com. Again, that is www.arnoldhoskins.com at 312-388-8396. Allow Dr. Hoskins to help you and encourage you in all your spiritual needs. Hello out there in Paris Johnson land. I'm going to be done in a second, and we're going to get to you guys. Right now, I'm on Facebook Live, and I am on IntellectualRadio.com, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. So as soon as I get through, we're going to get to you. So also, Darlene Clopton, the Woman of Destiny Boutique. Miss Darlene Clopton has the style for your profile. Contact her for your next event or for your everyday wear. Darlene Clopton is at 708-715-5516. Again, that number is 708-715-5516. She has an awesome collection of evening wear and prom dresses in stock for you this season. I mean, we are excited here today for who we have and what we're going to be talking about. Now, listen, I know I'm looking cute in this yellow jacket, but guess what? I'm hot. And listen, honey.
Today the sun decided to come out because we could come.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm hot. I'm trying to match with you, but sister girl hot. I think the only thing yellow going to be going today is my hair. Girl, honey.
Let's be free.
Let's be free. In the name of Jesus. So today we're going to be talking about Toxic relationships and what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they harmful, deceitful, and unloving? Or is something, or is it something that people can deal with, or is it something they're just used to? Maybe this is something that works for them because they are in too deep, or the soul ties run rather deep. Maybe they can't see the signs because they are in too deep, or they up too close. Now I've been up too close on people, and other people have to tell me
Listen.
what was going on.
Right.
So this is where we're going today. So maybe they just afraid and don't want to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to dig into a conversation regarding the signs of toxicity in relationships and why it's really not relational to have them. We are just here to help and not judge. Remember, this is just a conversation. And as I always say, and Shalice's gonna back me up with this. As I always say, we're gonna put it on a t-shirt. My opinion, but your decision. We're not here to judge. So take this hour ride here with me and keep it locked in here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we're going to give you all the information for your stimulation here on Soulful Stimulation with Chevelle Simone. So today we got Miss Paris Johnson. Paris Johnson is the CEO. Hey, come on through. And visionary of Savet Consulting LLC. It's a consulting firm that provides consulting, coaching, mentoring, and purpose discovery. Well, I should have had you when I was a junior in high school. Weekly, like today, Paris leads a conversation on her virtual platform entitled Conversations with Paris. Let me help you. She gonna take you for that ride, y'all. Cause I be on virtual too. Where she motivates and encourages her viewers to shift the trajectory of their lives by exploring a variety of topics that relates to mental health, relationships, purpose discovery, and overall wellness. One conversation at a time. With her amazing gift and resources, she takes pride and joy in helping others move to their next. Paris empowers others from all angles of life with her signature thought-provoking slogan that says, read this shirt, y'all. Let's say it together. You are enough. Okay. Through her motivational and inspirational conversations, Paris encourages her audience to make a move. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Not at all. No.
Because when I move what? Just like that. So she just say, just start. So welcome, Paris. Welcome to Soulful Stimulation. And tell me, what is it you want them to start doing?
What do I want them to start doing? Today, in this moment, I want you to listen and be ready to receive, because when you have good conversations, it really can shift your whole perspective. And that's what we're doing today, is having a conversation. And sometimes when you sit in the right rooms around the right people,
yes,
you can hear something to change your whole life. And that's the goal today. I'm not anybody so special, and I'm sure she might not say that too. I mean, we're God's child, but at the end of the day, we're just somebody that's trying to share something that can help the next person out so that they can do that on their journey. So just have an open mind and listen.
And one thing I like about conversations, we can just say something in the moment that we never knew before.
Absolutely.
And it ends up helping us. So we're not just conversating, trying to be the extra expert.
Absolutely.
We had experiences. So we're going to help you heal while we're being healed at the same time.
At the same time.
We're going to make it interchangeable.
Absolutely.
Because we're not perfect. We're not judging. We're just doing what? Getting started. We're just moving. And that's all we want you to do. Just start. So, girl, let's talk about these relationships, honey. But before we do that, how do you begin this work in finding self-empowerment and liberation?
Well, my journey, the full answer of it, I feel like it's been a journey that's been going on all my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
In some parts, I really feel like I can tell you when it started, but it's been going on all my life. But if I had to put a pinpoint, March of 2020, when the pandemic started, I remember just being concerned about the amount of anxiety and panic people were having and just depression. I was concerned for people's well-being. I think what it did was it started to reveal people's hearts and the things that might have been missing from it. And I just felt a call to action. To be honest, I didn't feel like it was somebody else's job to do. I felt like, you know what, let me get on here, past my insecurities, past, my fears, past anything, even my desires, and try to help the next person. And if that was just, it started out just being somebody saying, hey, I'm here. Hey, this is what I'm going through. Let me share. And then it kind of transformed into, wow, let's talk about mental health. Wow, let's
Yes.
talk about wholeness. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about, because all these things are, they really do come into question when we talk about loneliness and when we're talking about relationally, all that stuff. And so, usually I tell people loneliness is a lack. It shows a lack of purpose a lot of times, because when you're not in purpose, you don't realize it's a difference between being alone and being lonely. It's two different things. We are all alone at times, but loneliness means that you're really just not where you need to be. And we've all been there. That's no judgment.
And I want to say this is just my thought.
Mhm.
Just pull the microphone
Okay.
to you just a little bit more so we
Okay.
can hear you. I want the people to hear you.
Okay.
My thing is with loneliness is it makes you vulnerable
Very.
because when that person comes,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can be too vulnerable and too eager to do anything
Yes.
and accept anything.
Yes.
Do you understand what I mean by
Yes.
that? So we have to watch it when we're too lonely or too isolated. And I think that's when we need to call upon others
Yes.
or get involved into some things when you see that going on. Can you agree with me with that?
Absolutely. I mean, and even when I say purpose, I want to be clear. That's not an indictment that being lonely is such a horrible thing. We all have moments of loneliness. The difference is I found that I can pivot out of that loneliness when I'm doing something that's beneficial to me, to my walk. I surround myself around the people that do love me, that do care about me, and I don't focus on the things I don't have and who I don't have. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the perspective shift. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's when I realized, oh wow, I'm not lonely all the time. I'm just alone. And sometimes if you get in your head, you get stuck there. So that's really kind of how I started, just being able to say, I see people that are struggling. And if I can help somebody out with something I'm learning, and like I said, learning is a process. I'm learning too,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of how I started. That's just a one day at a time, one conversation at a time.
So define what does a healthy relationship look like versus a toxic relationship.
Okay. Well, first of all, a relationship, let me just break that part down. And we all know it, but you can have a romantic relationship, you can have a friendship,
Mm-hmm.
you can have I call casual relationship, which is more like an acquaintanceship,
Mm-hmm.
which is being people at work, people that you meet in social settings. And I say that because every person you meet is not necessarily a friend yet,
So
right?
what is the Facebook people? I don't even think they acquaintances either.
I want to believe they are, because like it's people that's on
I
my
don't know
live.
some of them.
I don't listen. I don't necessarily know them, but if I go ahead and just like I don't know somebody that I go bowling with or
Right.
skating, I like to skate, and I
Mm-hmm.
might see somebody and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And I don't know them from the next person besides that I speak to them. And if I see something wrong, I might say something, but I don't know them. Know them. To me, that's an acquaintance. That's somebody that I'm sharing an experience with.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Gotcha.
that's a form of relationship. We don't want to dismiss those things because I don't believe anything happens by accident.
No, it
So
does not.
so anybody that you interact with in your life, it was on purpose.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a
Yes.
relationship, whether we acknowledge it or not.
Relationships should be purposeful.
All of them are, even the
Okay.
ones you don't even think are.
Even the
Okay,
ones you don't even want.
listen, I'm gonna tell you. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I just
I want you.
and those are all the different relationships. The difference between healthy and toxic. I want to say healthy first. Healthy relationships are relationships that offer some of what I call foundations. Number one is communication,
Mhm.
clear, concise, direct communication. Um, I think that that's so important because a lot of what do you hear everybody always say? I don't feel like they hear me, or I don't think they understand me. And a lot of time it's a thing of communication, and then the other part is expectation. We have too many silent expectations, and we don't tell people what we expect from them. And so then guess what? When they fail our test of what we think they should have provided, then we're in offense, and we have not took it. They can't even defend themselves because they don't even know what these silent expectations were.
Girl, you just hurt somebody. Y'all all right out there? Y'all silently hurting.
But I mean, that's the truth. I mean, I think
Mhm.
we've all been there, and I didn't even understand that because definitions matter, right?
Yes, yes.
Definitions matter. So when we're talking healthy, I think, like I said, communication. I think trust, right? That's a huge thing. When I talk to you, when I'm with you, I have to trust that I'm safe. That I have a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
So that's healthy. And then I think also this, a lot of people don't necessarily like when I say this part, but I think autonomy. I'm your friend, or I'm your spouse, or we're acquaintances, or we're family, but I respect you to be you, and I hope you respect me to be me, and then we can still be friends, but still be independent at the same time.
So y'all see this shirt? We're gonna talk about this shirt. Man, this is Paris's Johnson shirts. So it say you are enough. Now I got one that say too much. Okay, Facebook. Y'all know, but like she too much. I got friends out there. Now I got over 5,000 Facebook friends, but I got over 3,000 that I know, and I've heard all through my life. Oh my God, you're a dramaturg. Oh my God, you exaggerate. Oh, you're too much. Oh my gosh. Okay, then it got I'm extra. Yes, I am. To my family, they say you're extra. But guess what? Too much, extra, whatever it is, I'm enough.
Yes, yes.
You kicking with me. I ain't kicking with you. Go ahead, go.
But that's what it comes down to. Me being able to accept you how
Yes.
you are, and you accept me how I am.
Yes.
And to me, those are some of the basic pieces of a healthy relationship. Those are just the basic ones. So that's when we define as healthy. When we get to toxic, toxic is when you violate any of those things. Um, I give you an example. For example, communication piece. You ever have somebody to give you the silent treatment? you know,
Them Geminis, baby. Go ahead.
when somebody,
Shut you down.
you ask them, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" Nothing, nothing. Everything's fine. No, I'm good. And you seemingly know something's wrong, but you keep pushing and you're not getting anything. They shut down on you. I mean, let's be honest, things happen like that. But when it's to a point where that has been over too long of a period of time, you have had to shut down. We don't have open communication anymore. And it's actually used as a form of abuse, but I'll go later on that one. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. When you have people that literally regularly shut down on you, that's a form of control.
Abuse.
Okay. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Abuse and control.
And then the other piece is the other part where you're trying to talk and communicate, and they're shutting you down when you talk. They're telling you what you feel. They're telling you how to feel. They're telling you don't have the right to feel that.
Where the blessed oil at, y'all? She talking about me. Go ahead, but go ahead, girl.
But I mean,
You helping me now.
and that's where it comes down to. Whenever the communication is either shut down or it is pretty much neglected. If we're talking and I feel like you're not hearing me, or when I say something, there's this term called gaslighting. Let me tell you what gaslighting is.
Tell me what the gaslight is.
Gaslighting is when somebody does something purposely to get a reaction out of you, and then they blame you when you react.
Okay.
Okay.
This don't mean when your gaslight on in your car.
It does not mean that, but it took me a long time to figure out what that was, and it's a psychology term. And I got so excited when I heard of it because I'm like, wow, that's what that is. That moment when I know that you did something purposely to trigger me, so that you can blame me on what you did, and and absolve yourself. It's called gaslighting. Okay, and so so whenever you have these interruptions, and I'm not just talking about a one-time thing, but if this is a way that we communicate, then that's usually toxic. That's the first sign. If you never feel heard, you ever hear somebody say, "I just don't feel heard. I don't feel heard in this relationship. I don't feel seen in this relationship." That's toxic, because then that affects you, and you don't really even realize that you take that thing on into other parts of your life.
Mm. Well, you just answered my next question because I was going to ask you, how do one know that they are in a toxic relationship? So you explained that. So why do you think some people are willing to hold on to a relationship that are relationships that are toxic, unfulfilling, or not good for them? Like, is it fear? Like, what goes? What's happening?
Well, I mean, let's just be honest. You don't do anything that doesn't feed you. Okay? Let's just be honest about that. You don't do anything that doesn't feed you. And
Mm-hmm.
so the reality is I wouldn't I wouldn't stay in something that didn't feed me in some type of way. Okay? Meaning even though I say it's toxic and I know it's toxic and 70% of the time or even 80% of the time it's horrible. It's giving me something. To give you an example. If I feel unloved or I feel like being alone is the worst thing in the world, if I stay in a romantic relationship so I don't have to be classified as alone, then that's feeding me, right? And yes, all the horrible things that's happening as well in there, but I'm not alone. And so that's why I stay. I
Mm-hmm.
stay because I put more uh, real estate into the idea of me being looking like to people that I'm alone,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because to nowadays you like a leper if you're single.
Right, right.
You get to a certain age and they like, oh, you 25, what's wrong with you?
Girl, you fed it.
And it becomes this whole moment where my whole life is kind of being judged by it, and so now you have people making decisions based off of, well, at least I'm not single. Or when they stay with friendships, you ever see those people that have a whole bunch of people around them and they lonely?
Mm.
Why do you think they do that? They do it because, well, at least it look like I got my girls, or I got these people that say they love me, and the whole time you're feeling not heard, not seen. You have surface relationships with them, but at least I have relationships. It's a need to belong.
Yeah, it's a tough need,
Mhm.
and it remind me of trying to get in a sorority. Baby, we gonna go. Let me not go there, but anyway, sound check is a sound check for me.
But
So
that's the thing. I mean, and to be honest, that's the reason we stay. We're addicted to whatever that is. And let's
belonging,
right, and let's be clear. I'm not exempt.
addicted to connecting, addicted to belonging, connected, being part of the crowd or the
Mhm,
in crowd.
mhm.
The in crowd ain't even thinking about you. They got you tagging along because they want your pay. Sometimes they manipulating you, using you. Um, they're takers.
Yeah. And guess what? Like she said before, when you're so close to a situation, you don't always see it that way. You say, "Oh, well, this is good about it. This is good about it." Because let's be honest, we can really skew the scale, right? I can say all of this is good, and deep down inside know that it's not, because I value what it's giving me, and what it gives me is the ability to say I'm not alone.
Wow. I am here with Miss Paris Johnson, and you are tuned into Soulful Stimulation with your girl Chevelle Simone here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we are streaming live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where we have over 50 intellectual radio shows. Girl, guess what? I'm number 51 in the show. I'm the newbie here.
Okay,
I'm so excited to
okay.
be here. I thank God
So
for
excited to
Wanda
be here.
B and Mr. Earl. And you can listen to Wanda B on Sundays at 2 p.m., where she's talking about he said, she said. See,
That's
relationships.
good.
And you can listen to Wanda B on intellectualradio.com, iHeart, YouTube. She's a speaker, Facebook Live, and you can reach her at www.hssswb.com. Wanda B in the his house. He said, she said, with Wanda B on Sundays at 2 o'clock p.m. So when you get out of church, you get through streaming Jesus, okay? You need to get your relationship right. Girls, find out what he said versus what you saying and telling your friends. It might be a lie. So listen, we are here streaming live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this segment is sponsored by Dr. Arnold Hoskins and Sacred Memories Funeral Homes. Dr. Arnold Hoskins is a biblical counselor who is well equipped to counsel you and your family in any situation where there's a need to be free. Dr. Hoskins is a columnist, coach, and a public speaker who takes joy in serving all people of all walks of life. You can reach him at www.drarnoldhoskins.com. Again, that is www.drarnoldhoskins.com. drarnoldhoskins.com, and Sacred Memories Funeral Home, where the proprietor is Miss Tawana Collins. You can reach her at 773-667-8600. That number again is 773-667-8600. They're located at 2024 East 75th Street on the corner of 75th and Jeffrey. We're so excited and thankful for all our sponsors that are here. I want to get back to the show. Hot topic. Hot topic.
Hot topic.
I hope this is thought-provoking, and I'm hoping it's causing you to think about some people now here on Soulful Stimulation with Chevelle Simone on IntellectualRadio.com.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
this is very thought-provoking because while you're talking, I'm thinking. So what are the steps of getting out of a toxic relationship? What does a person need to do? And what type of help is out there for them, if there is any? Because maybe they just need to start with self. Because as you were, remember those questions.
Yes.
But I want to say this.
Absolutely.
Because as you was talking, I was thinking about, what kind of friend am I? I'm talking about me.
That's good. That's good.
Do I have some friendships that I have made toxic? I'm talking about me.
Yes. And that's how we should start this. We should look inward, right?
Yeah.
These are what these conversations are for. It's not to point the finger. So that's not going to get you anywhere. If you say y'all, the one thing I tell people about, I'm going to tell my story so you understand that this is us. We all been through it. We all are going through it. And so that's a good question. Your goal is to turn the mirror on yourself and to be able to say, wow, okay, do I feel like I'm getting this? Am I giving? Do I feel like I'm being available, or they're available to me, or am I available to them? Like, you have to really, when you're self-aware, you do start to say, you know what, let me make myself better. Because the most important relationship is with self. It's with self. I mean, okay, and all right, I can say the most important relationship is with God, but He's inside of us, and so you have to. That's who you have to get the relationship with first, right? Because the thing about it is, I can't be good to you if I don't even love me. How can I love you? How can I be good to you if I don't really love me? A lot of times we expect, remember I told you silent expectations? We expect something that people are not even capable of giving us.
Yes, we are. And I look at wow, I got my friend Zelinda, who's been with me since high school. And I got Shalise, who's been there since, Lord Jesus, since my pregnancy with my son, who you know, DeAndre, he's 29. And I think how we have carried one another through, but how my relationship, I value all my relationships. Let's just get that straight. But my relationship with Shalise, because I have friends that say, you've been knowing me longer. No, it doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
My relationship with her, it reminds me of like my mom, who always say, you're the youngest. I mean, you're not the youngest, but I was the smallest. And she always called me her knee baby. Like, so out of all Shalice's sisters, her friends or whatever, whether they're younger than me or older, I am her baby sister. Bam! I said it. Listen, I am her baby sister. So, big sister, this relationship, big sister took care of baby sister. Baby sister making the paper. Now, baby sister do everything she can to take care of big sister. Absolutely. So when we're out, I got it. Right. I gotta be. No, you done enough for me, baby. Let me show you what I'm. That's the kind of relationship I'm talking about. Absolutely. When you got it, not that she ain't got it now. No, baby, she makes paper. She make that kind of paper that's inside the bank. That go. She make paper. That's kind. She make that kind of paper. You know, I can't even keep up with the paper she got. But when we're out, it does not. I hear you, Shalise. In the name of Jesus, Lord, she making that kind of paper in the bank. That she is. I done decreed and declared that I'm the prophet. She got that kind of paper. Checks in the mail coming this week. Listen, this is my sister. This is my friend. This is, I don't want to say lover because people just take that out of control. Right. I don't care what it is. Right. If something going on with Chevelle right now, she going to change my diaper. Listen. That's the kind of friend I got. So I make sure I go above and beyond for her. So if we out,
Yeah.
you ain't pulling out nothing because I got this because she took care of me for so long. And people don't even know. I know people looking right now like, no, that's because you don't know. You don't know the middle of the nights. You don't know the all nights in the hospital. You don't know the stuff that she had to do for me. But not that it don't discount my other friends. I love my friends. I'm close to all of my friends. And my friends will tell you, you make me feel like I'm the only friend you got. Because that's how I greet people and that's how I treat people. So when you were talking about this, I'm like, now who did I have messed up with? Or what have I done? What have I gone overboard with? So that's how I look at it when you're toxic. It's like when people say stop, 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 and you keep going. I'm that girl.
Yeah.
See, I'm not the mean girl, but you can tell me to stop, and I'm like, I want to do what I want to do. You see what I'm saying?
You know what that sounds like, and I was going to bring that up.
Bring
it's
it up.
My favorite topic in the world, besides relationships, boundaries.
I
Baby.
need
That's
them,
my
y'all.
Favorite word. Boundaries.
My son tell me every day, Mama, no, me and you need boundaries. No, we don't. I'm your mama.
Let me tell you about boundaries. Boundaries, people think it's a bad word, and it's not. All a boundary is, I like to give a visual. So, boundary is just a fence. Okay, think of it as I have a house. You a house.
Fence. Okay.
And I have my house. There is my property I have. And what do you have around a lot of time? You have a fence. Okay. If you are a homeowner, one thing you know about property is that they give you this. There's a deed that tells you where your property starts at and where it ends. And guess what? If you don't know where your property starts and ends, somebody, your next door neighbor, can build a fence on your property, and you won't even know it. That's what a boundary
Or
is.
plant a tree.
Listen, and that's what a boundary is. So guess what? That means I came on to, we had this thing between us. I came onto your side of your house or your property, and I set up stage, and I said, I'm here. And now I might be too close to you, but you feel like you kind of don't have any say in that. And we do. And that's the problem. We think it's such a bad thing to establish boundaries, because guess what? The best thing I ever heard in life was, if you don't establish them, that don't mean it's not there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that again.
I gotta do it.
If you don't establish boundaries, the other person did. So now we're in a point where we say, "Oh, I don't want to do boundaries. I don't want to do boundaries." It sounds like I'm pushing people away, or I'm not, my full self. The reality is, you have the right to be able to say, "No, I can't do that," or "No,
I gotta learn
I
some
don't
boundaries.
want that," or "Hey, here's another one. You know what? I don't feel like it right now." I think the big I love a statement I say now that I heard somebody say, and I don't remember, I can't get the credit right now because I can't remember it, but someone said, your yes is weak if your no is it doesn't exist. Your yes is weak if your no doesn't exist.
Your yes is weak if your no doesn't exist. And let me show y'all how to say no. Hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
So funny. But you know what? I mean, we're joking, but the reality is, I just found my no.
Wow.
I mean, within the last year or so, maybe not even 2 whole years, I felt. Let me tell you something.
Did it hurt? It hurt. Was it fearful? I was fearful for a long time to tell people no.
I was. Let me tell you why. Because we take on false burdens. Okay, we are, especially women. We are, and this is not against men. I know men do it too, but we are nurturers by trade. And this is what we do. We want to take care of people. And don't be somebody who you're used to taking care of people and you think that's your love language. It sounds good. I love you so much. I'm going to do whatever you need for me to do. And it sounds wonderful and great. But then somewhere along the line, if we're not, whether we're honest about it or not, we start doing things we didn't really want to do. We start saying yes when we really didn't mean it because we felt obligated.
And then we start something.
And then you're now, so then now, what does the Bible say about that? It said that if if you're doing something, if you're giving and it's not, you don't have the right heart, keep it. It's no point in giving it. How often do we do something for somebody and we secretly resent them?
If your heart ain't right, come on.
I mean, and that sounds so like, oh, why would somebody do that? Let's be honest here. And let me tell myself.
Tell it, girl.
I used to have people who were not, let me say the right thing, not good financial stewards. Now I'll just put it out there like that. And then they would ask me to helped them out financially, and they had a track record of not necessarily, paying me back or being integral. That's the word I'm gonna use.
Integral.
Okay. And so after the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time,
6, 7, 8.
if I give to them again, I'm probably gonna secretly resent them because I kind of know what their pattern is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did my old self would do is I'm going to blame them because I'm gonna say they shouldn't do that. But actually now my reflective self is saying, what in me is allowing me to continue to allow them to do that? What in me? I mean, I have to take some of that blame. If you keep on, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this. If I poke you and you don't like it, after the fifth or sixth time, you start, you just let it happen, and you got a red mark in your thing. Now somebody gonna say, "Why you let her poke you that much? What happened where you didn't tell her no?" And that's where boundaries come in. You have the right to be able to say, you have the right to be able to say, "I don't like that." And no, and it doesn't mean I love you any less.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I am not as committed to this relationship.
Right.
And for some reason, we equate the two. And I'm telling you, my first time I said no to the person that that I would help out a lot, I'll be honest with you, I cried. My voice trembled when I said it, because in my mind, let me tell you what I equated it with. I equated I was pulling my love away from them. I equated that they really needed me and I wasn't there for them.
I shared the video on her page.
And I literally got to a point where I said, I read this book. Can I say who the book is by?
I don't care.
Okay, it's an amazing book called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Amazing book. Okay, you guys ever want to read up on it? He's amazing. He does scripture reference, and he's a psychologist. And
girl, I need that book.
Oh, you need this book. It's so heavy,
girl.
Listen, it's so heavy. I read it one page at a time, and I'm like, "Ooh, okay, let me close this right now." I've been reading this book for.
What is the name of this book again?
Boundaries. It's called Boundaries.
By who?
By Dr. Henry Cloud.
Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Is that Cloud?
Yes.
Can we get on Amazon?
Yes.
Let's get that book, guys. We all, even if you feel like you have boundaries, you still need boundaries.
Yes. And the thing about it is, the reality is, it's going to help you to realize that boundaries is not a curse word. That you can establish them and not lose love. And actually, once you do establish healthy boundaries, just like you said, you said so. You asked me a question about toxic relationship. Do we have to throw them all away? No. Sometimes you can be in a relationship, and and the person could not be really ready to actually be. They're not. How to say this? I want to say this really correctly. I'm careful with my words, right? You can be in a relationship with somebody who is really working on the best version of them, and they're kind of struggling, and you love them. Let's say it's from like this family, and you don't want to be estranged, right? You have to be honest about the fact that, okay, I don't want to be estranged from this person. So how can I coexist it? How can I coexist with this person, how they are? And the answer to that is boundaries. I can say, listen, I can't control how you are or how you live your life, but what I can say is that I still want to have a relationship with you, but on my terms. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And that's the way that you can deal with something that you deem toxic. Now, and this is minus abuse. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal, all that. That's minus all that. You just have to get to a point where you say, I'm not ready to throw this thing away completely because I see some good in it. I see some good fruit, but I do recognize the toxic in it. I do recognize the dysfunction here, and I'm gonna put up boundaries to make sure that you don't get to do this to me all the time. This is my boundary,
Thank you for watching IntellectualRadio.com. I am Chevelle Simone. We're here on Soulful Stimulation. I'm going to take a 2-minute break, and we're going to come back with Miss Paris Johnson talking about toxic relationships here on Soulful Stimulation with your girl, Chevelle Simone, here on IntellectualRadio.com. We're just going to take a break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. Thank you for watching. Hold on to your shoes now and your relationships. Hold on.
Yeah, so all I want y'all to do is take that.
no longer worthless. Now I know who I am. What you get is what you see.
His joy.
It keeps me strengthened every day of my life. He's watching over me.
Faithful.
Take nothing for granted. New life, my health, and brand new mercies. I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrating life. I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Oh, I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrate life. I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Ooh, I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrating life. I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Oh, I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrate life. Celebrate. I'm strong. I am a victor. I am one with the Lord. I live from day to day.
Been wrong.
But a little bit wiser. Rejoicing in the Lord. Always I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrating life. I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Yes, I'm celebrating.
Celebrate. Celebrate.
Life. Celebrating.
Celebrate.
Oh, celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrating life. I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Oh, yes, I'm celebrating.
Celebrate.
Celebrating
Life.
Celebrating.
Celebrate.
Everybody get up. Everybody get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Walking, talking, feeling.
I know that there's something that the Lord has done for you that you can praise Him for.
Celebrate.
Get on up and let's give Him glory.
Life. Talking,
Celebrate
living,
for what He's done for you. Let's celebrate. Celebrate.
Let's celebrate life.
God has great things in store for you.
Let's celebrate.
Celebrate.
Let's celebrate life.
Be grateful. Celebrate.
Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate
Celebrate life.
Let's
Oh.
celebrate. Let's celebrate life.
Welcome back to Soulful Stimulation with your girl Chevelle Simone here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we have over 50 radio stations, and I'm number 51 here on IntellectualRadio.com, where we're here 24/7. Okay, so we're back with Paris Johnson. I want you to play a game with me that I play with everyone that comes on the show.
Okay. I like games.
I hope you guys are enjoying this toxic relationship. So, you're an early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Really?
I'm early. I think I was gonna say both, but if I had to say it, I want to believe I'm a early bird all the time, but I'm one of those things I'm trying to avoid being a night owl, and it just happens. I'm
Yeah.
in school right now, and I end up being up to 1 in the morning. I'm in
Mm.
finals week right now, so oh Jesus. Yeah,
I'm glad
a
it's
night owl.
over for me. Oh my God, getting a master's degree, I was like, ugh, I'm over it.
I'm in it right now, so
Are you a bling queen or keep it conservative?
I am a newly bling queen.
Come on,
Um,
I love it.
am.
I love everything about
embracing
bling.
it. Listen,
Girl, listen. If it ain't, if like my mother say, if it don't shine, it ain't mine. I love it.
because you talked about the extra. That's my whole story.
Oh.
The too much and extra. I've been taught that
Really?
all my life. That's why this is near and dear to me, because I've been told that, and that made me not want to talk. It made me shrink to the back. It made me shrink down and quiet down. People said I was too much. I did too much. I was too much. And when I started to realize I'm enough just as I am, no more dimming my life for you to feel better. Why would I do that? God said I could be everything that I am, and that's good enough. So,
Was you on a cheerleading team, girl?
no,
What did you want to do in high school?
I ran track.
Me too.
Hold on, but I was a nerd. I was president of the math club and the president of the Bible club.
Shut
I was her. Yes, I have a trophy for first place in algebra competition downstate Illinois. So I was a nerd, and I'm
Yeah.
proud nerd.
Look, don't just call her about relationships. She can tutor your kids.
And
Listen, extra money, extra string. So
Okay.
look, I did cheerleading for a little bit, but I was in an a cappella choir. I ran track. But baby, me and my friends Linda hollered all through the high school. Honey, if she was on the first floor, I was on the third. I'm like, Zalama! She like she felt somehow. I mean, we just was just loud kids. And the counselor used to say, "You all are not college material." But let me tell you something. We both went to college. I got my master's, baby. She doing her thing at Pepsi, and I'm doing my thing right here on IntellectualRadio.com. So, bam.
Do your thing.
Do your
That's what
thing.
I'm saying.
So, are you Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? Which one do you enjoy?
I'm Dunkin' Donuts.
Me too. What's your favorite?
I have this toasted almond
Get out.
coffee with 6 cream and 6 Splenda. That's what I do.
Girl, I gotta try the toasted almond.
Toasted almonds. My
Girl, I'm a caramel swirl.
favorite. Oh, okay.
Extra cream and sugar. And today I tried the cappuccino blast. I will be back for that. Heels or flats?
In this season is heels. I used to be a 5-inch, 6-inch heel, but I'm still rolling in 4. I'm still rolling in the 4-inch. Yeah.
I'm a wedgie girl.
No kitten heels yet.
I'm doing wedges.
I ain't mad at you.
Baby,
I'm
them
doing
knees,
wedge.
these knees been hurting. I'm doing a wedge and a sledge. Read and relax or Netflix and chill?
Honestly, in this season, it's Netflix and chill because I rarely get a chance to just read pleasurable material. When I say that, let me be clear.
Explain
Let me
the
explain.
pleasurable, because when I say stuff like that, they like, ooh.
Oh no! When I mean that, is I'm a computer. My mind is like a computer.
She's a nerd.
I am. So when I read something, I do these deep dives. I have to be super careful because I can start something, researching something, and I'm like, and I'm in this article here, article there, and I'm consuming. And so for me, it's not relaxing really. And so I rarely get a chance to sit down and read a good book, except when I'm on vacation. Now I have a thing now where I'll open the book up and put a hat on in the sun and sit down and try to read it. So for me,
Are you analytical?
I am super.
Girl, we gotta get you a husband.
Okay, Jesus. I mean,
Yes, Lord. Lord, all these women in this room, get them a husband, Jesus. I have 2. I know you can give them one. I'm just being mean. Too much and extra. But guess what? I'm enough. Go ahead, girl. Enough.
But yeah, so that's why I said now when I do try at home, like once a month now, I say I don't have a TV in my room. I don't watch TV. And literally my son has a TV. So literally I tell myself once a month I can sit on my computer and watch a show and literally do nothing that is like beneficial for me. I literally veg out for 2 hours once a month. I have to do that for my self-care. Because before I got to a point where I'm trying to grow, and you burn out. And so now that's my private time. I put on me some type of psychological thriller and I sit down and watch somebody get murdered. I love it.
Somebody else in this room is like that too. They be hollering at the TV. Like the blood, shut up. I ran in the front room like, what happened? Oh, I'm watching this TV. I know you only one up in here hollering at the whole TV. Kill him. I'm like, get out of here. Girl, I'm thinking somebody in the house.
Listen.
Yeah, y'all need to stop all that.
Well, listen, I'm just saying, I love the brain. And it took me a long time to figure out what it was. I love looking into people's minds. Mm-hmm. It's a movie called Joker. And when you literally watch it, it shows you how he turned crazy. That was the most interesting thing to me. And I know that sounds crazy, like a little nuts, but it fascinates me. I want to see what turned that person. You ever heard that how to make a serial killer? Same idea. That what took you there? Because if you know what took them there, you can kind of try to prevent that.
I'm gonna make sure you get my brain, okay? Salty or sweet?
What's salty all day?
Really?
Yes.
I love sweet.
I am just starting to like sweet. I'll be 40 in August. Hey, and I didn't start liking sweets until.
So you eat
30.
potato chips, don't you?
I love that, and I'm not supposed to have them, but I love the salty. And to be honest with you, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I don't like chocolate. It's overrated. And so I just kind of like, give me something that's savory. That's the word. I love savory things.
All right. So she mixed her chips, y'all. I want y'all to know.
All day. Y'all already know that, you put the...
Look at her. She getting excited.
I did, because you mix
she
them up
did
in the
like...
bags. You be like, okay.
Spicy or mild?
I'm a little spicy.
Me too.
I'm a little spicy.
I think I like spicy because I'm spicy.
I think that's the reason.
Spicy and feisty.
Spicy and feisty. I like it.
What's your favorite day of the week?
It is now Monday. It is now Monday.
Girl, you know, don't nobody like Mondays, but tell me about this.
I had to
Just
be
another manic Monday.
and if I could be honest, it used to be Fridays, my favorite day of the week, because it was like the end of my week. And somebody challenged me one day. They said, "Why not make your Mondays the best day ever?" And I was just like, "What?" And I just thought they were being so judgmental and crazy and extra, trying to be right. And then I just started to think about it and say, why don't I start doing things that make me look forward to Monday?
So what do? Help the people.
Well, first of all, I'm grateful. When you start in gratitude, I mean, somebody didn't wake up this Monday. Wow. Somebody didn't have a job on this Monday. Somebody didn't have a house with their utilities paid on this Monday. Somebody didn't wake up with their right mind on this Monday. Somebody didn't wake up with peace on this Monday. So yeah, you know what? Work might be getting on my nerves sometimes. Sometimes my child might be getting on my nerve. Heck, sometimes I might be getting on my nerve. But if I can think about all the things I do have, I started off, it's a marvelous Monday. And I'm intentional about making it marvelous.
A marvelous, mindful Monday.
Absolutely.
Wow. Sounds like something Marquia can do on her podcast. You do.
Listen, why not? I do marvelous Monday, terrific Tuesday, wonderful Wednesday, thankful Thursday, fantastic Friday,
You,
and
I'm a-
savory Saturday.
did you meet Marquia while you was here? Because, honey, this girl, she get on her podcast. I'm like, she is up for real.
That's it. You know what they say? What would Beyonce? I woke up like this. People like at work. They're like, you really woke up with this much energy. Yes, I don't have to have coffee. Coffee is something I do for taste. I don't have to have it for caffeine. I literally, once I'm up, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the world. Because I'm grateful to be here.
So, what stimulates you?
Stirring conversation.
Wow.
It stimulates me. If somebody can sit down with me and we can flow. I mean, those conversations where I meant to talk to you 30 minutes and we on the phone for 4 hours, that does something to me. It does something to me. It's like that's how I know who my best friends are. That's how I know when I'm interested in somebody romantically. When we can flow and I can be who I am and you can be who you are and we can relate, it's nothing better.
Wow. And it's almost like I had a conversation with somebody and I was like, oh God, you sometimes when you talk to people, it's like they make love to your mind
Literally.
before you really go there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and where I met in my life, you can't go nowhere until you do this.
Come on.
Because honestly, I'm turned off by shallowness. And that's not in just romantic relationships, that's in friendships. When I meet people who are surface level and they don't want to get in, they don't want to go any deeper than surface, I'm bored. I'm like, you know what? After a while, if you're so guarded, well, we can't get past the surface. I'm a disengage. I'm gonna try, but then after a while, I've learned I don't penetrate layers anymore.
I love that. You are tuned in with me, your girl, Chevelle Simone, here on Soulful Stimulation, here on IntellectualRadio.com, where I am your hostess with the mostest. And I'm here with Miss Paris Johnson. She's in the building with me talking about toxic relationships. We all have had them.
Yes.
And some of us are in them now. And some of us are the ones that are toxic, adding the toxicity to the relationship. So tell me before you go off, what would you like to leave with? I'm going to say our viewers today for a final thought.
A final thought about toxic relationships. Do not beat yourself up if you're currently in one. No condemnation. It's just better to be aware. If you're in something that is, again, abusive, physically, emotionally, verbally, you don't have to take it. You can leave. And you have every right to. There's no explanation for getting out of something that hurts you.
And how can they get out, or who can they talk to? Like, should they call a good friend, someone they trust? Because sometimes when you, and I know I said a final thought, but I wanted to add this right here. See, sometimes when you're in, I'm going to say romantic relationships where your friends are involved, some of them are connected to that other. And when you're trying to leave, you see what I'm saying? They make them phone calls.
Well, but see, that's the thing about it. You have to know who you're around. And that's what I was about to say. You have to find a safe space, whatever that looks like. And, you might think your safe space is your girlfriend, but if she going back and saying stuff on you, then that's not your safe space. You got to know who your safe spaces are. Maybe your safe space is that person, that coworker at work that noticed when you come in real quiet and ask you how you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Mm-hmm.
drive you home today? Maybe that's the person that you kind of know it subconsciously. Wherever that person, when you feel I can really be my true self, maybe you say to them, I'm tired. And reach out for help, because unfortunately there's some people that didn't get out of them.
Yeah.
So we have to just be what I call emotionally courageous.
Yeah. Ooh,
I have a shirt that says
somebody write that
emotional
down.
courage, because I believe it's not talked about enough. It
Mhm.
takes courage to make these type of decisions. It's not easy. It's not something that is popular. And to be honest with you, the victim mindset is a real thing. People get to the point where they are victimized so much they believe that they deserve what they're in. So first thing I want you to know, you are enough. You are worthy of getting the help you need, and just walking away if something is not serving you. So that's what I say. And then if you're not going to leave a relationship, or if it's not like physically or emotionally abusive, then put up healthy boundaries. If you don't know what that is, do the research, start talking about it, and understand that you have the right to have it. And when somebody tells you don't, watch out for them. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch out.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here with us,
Thank
Miss Paris Johnson.
you.
Tell your viewers we said hello. I know you got to go over and say something to them, but stick around because I want to take some pictures with you, girl, because we
Absolutely.
cute.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And please come back again on Soulful Stimulation with your girl, Chevelle Simone. It was so great for having you here. I love you. You like my little sister. I love what you do. I've been following you over Facebook for like over a year. And I remember the first day you started doing your Facebook Live. I'm like, okay, girl.
A mess.
Listen, laying on the couch sideways. And hey, but look where you are now. You got many listeners. You can have a seminar, a workshop. You've been shaking, moving and shaking and doing what you do. And that's how we start. We start off small. We just do and obey what the Lord and tell us to do. And before you know it, you're out there. So we're grateful for that. So now we're gonna have Miss Marquia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you. Mwah. Social distancing. Now we're gonna have Marquia Janae, and I want her to come on and talk to us a little bit about relationships. Please. We're just gonna talk a little bit about relationships. My staff is here, you guys. Shalise Nichols, Marquia, and Tamisha. Tamisha is not gonna get on. She's gonna embarrass me if I call her out. And it's a reason why I had you to come on.
Okay.
Because you have helped me with some yes, you have in our little conversations.
Okay.
I think I want to tap into what lasting relationships look like, and why do we hold on to them versus lasting relationships that we thought that was good for us, but we had to shut them down. I want to talk on that piece. And there's a reason why I want to talk to her. She's an AKA. She's originally from Urbana, correct? Carbondale. Went to U of I. And she used to hang out up here every week partying, where she had met plenty of people. She got people in her life that she's been knowing all her life. And she stick with them. I've known her to stick with them. And we have conversations. Oh, yeah, that's my friend from itty bitty. You know, I'm like, oh, wow. So I have had some long lasting, but I think like my long lasting relationships are 5% compared to where I am now. Because how long have we been knowing each other?
Oh man, probably a year.
A year.
A year.
Come on, world changers.
A year.
And it seemed like we've been knowing each other
forever.
Right.
Honestly.
So let's talk about how relationships spark.
Yeah. So I guess for me, my friends that I do have, that I've had a long time, a lot of them are from childhood, but like Paris was talking about, you have to set boundaries along the way. So although our relationship started one way, as we grew into our adulthood, as we grew into ourselves and who we are, we had to establish boundaries. You can't be all up in my face.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes a time that no matter what the relationship is, at some point you establish that boundary because you change. And as you change, your relationships change.
So let me ask you though, but do you start those boundaries right away, or do you start those boundaries when you see something, or do those boundaries progress? Like, yeah, we had a boundary here, but now further along in the relationship, we need to, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, new relationships, right? Like if I'm coming into something, I am setting my boundary. I already have in my head what my boundaries are. I know what my boundaries are.
I know what red flags I look for in relationships. I know what my triggers are. And if you are triggering me, then I know, okay, this is something that's not going to work.
I
Because
love it.
we have to know our own triggers too. Because if we don't, then we feed into the toxicity. Then we're adding more drama to it because we're allowing those triggers to create, I guess, like an avalanche effect if we don't address them up front and if we don't set the boundary up front.
Now I love you. I love that you said that because sometimes I'm just want to say this, guys, not to throw shade on anyone, but sometimes in relationships we don't say things, and you know about my little thing that I had. Don't say nothing. You let it go on and on, and you don't say nothing. Because I remember one time you was like, Chevelle, you should have said something. You know, because we have a mutual friend, and you like, I want to invite her, but you know, so I should have said something. I never said anything, and you're teaching me, you know, to say something. But it's like I don't want to offend them, but see, it's like I'm not gonna say it's almost too late. I just should have started.
Yeah, it's never too late. It's never too late to set your boundary, and it's never too late to say, okay, this is what bothers me. Because if you never address it, it's going to continue.
Mhm.
And sometimes we just have to hit it head on. And if you have love for that person and they have love for you, you can come to a mutual understanding, a mutual agreement to say, okay, this is what I need from you. It's okay to let people know what you need from them. Because if you need that from them, it's a reason why. And vice versa. People will let you know what they need from you. And whether you can meet that expectation or you can't. But if the expectation is not set, then how do you know what you're trying to achieve? How do you know if you're growing in a relationship if you're not putting it out there? Because you're going to keep moving the goal line. You're going to keep saying, well, okay, that's okay. They did it only that one time. Oh, okay. They did it again. Oh, but it's okay because I really like this person. No. Stop moving the goalpost.
Boom. I already know about this chick right here, y'all. Don't call her between 5 and 7 a.m., baby. She is working out. I don't bother her until after 8:30 while she's on her way to work. And that's something I know. I respect your time. And that's one thing we learned early on. We respect
Respect our time.
We don't redeem our time in this relationship, y'all. We do what? Respect my time. I love that about her. Hey, Delana.
Because I'm intentional with everything that I do.
Yes.
I am. And it's like, I don't mind adjusting my schedule if it's an emergency. But if I don't answer, it's a reason why.
Right.
But I will get back to you.
Yes.
I will get back to you. But if I have said, okay, you know this is my schedule. You know this is my time to get myself together to deal with everything else that has to go forth in my day and in this world, respect that.
And she got this 10-minute rule, y'all. If she late, she gon' if we supposed to be somewhere at 10:30, baby, by 10:15 and she running behind, I'm gonna be 5 minutes late. I'm like, okay, it's just 5 minutes. But that's just her and her makeup. I don't know where she got it from. Act like she been from the military.
Mm-hmm.
But
From the South.
but I love how she do relationships. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. She walks softly before people when it's relationship. But I'm gonna tell you something, whether she has a relationship with you or not, she's helpful. She is very, very helpful. She's a wise woman of God. She is a virtuous woman of God. But I love the way I see you value relationships. Do you have anything else you want to say before I bring on Miss Shalice Nichols before she go pick up my niece? She going to pick up my niece Belle. She go
She's like, I'm out the door, baby.
Her yes is weak. Her yes.
She gonna run out,
baby.
But no, just I think one thing that was hit on today is just really you have to know yourself in every relationship because no matter what relationship is there, who's there? You. So if you don't know yourself, then you're bound to have toxicity anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't address your toxicity.
Yes.
So it's just so important just to know who you are, know your identity, and where you find that at. And for me, and I think many of us in this room, our identity is found in Christ.
Yeah.
And that's where we look to the shape what we're
Because
doing.
sometimes we just toxic people, Paris.
Mhm.
We just toxic people. And we carry that into every relationship. And even though we are close to different people and have different relationships, we value each one different. We can't value them all the same.
No.
But guess what? Show up.
Show up.
Be present
And intentional.
and intentional about being that what word I want to use? That integral person in the relationship. That's really big. Because I have, let me just say this so we can get off this air. What time is it? I have about 6 to 7, y'all, group texts with different friends. Because we're in one, right? But you have to be integral in each one.
Yeah.
I can put something in our group text. She ain't gonna text back. She gonna call me, sister. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
She calls me. She calls me on my mess. This is how she would say, maybe you need to look at it like this, because I'm very aggressive. She will call me, Chevelle, maybe you need to look at it like this, because this is what's going on with this. You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes I don't have any boundaries. And sometimes I look at a situation and I goes there. This one gonna say, Chevelle, I'm not gonna give you all the details. Am I right, Key?
Right now, I'm not gonna give you.
And guess what? And I might not need to know all the details with my nosy self. All right? But she gonna say, maybe you need to look at it like this. And then she'll say, and then the word said, am I lying?
No, you tell the truth.
That's how this one deals with me. She's gonna give me a scenario. She's gonna tell me how I should be looking at it by this is who you said you are, Chevelle.
That's it.
You need people like that. Accountability. Now, have she set boundaries with me? She ain't never told me she had, but guess what? I know what they are.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yes.
What did you say? Boundaries are unspoken.
Okay.
Boundaries are unspoken.
They are unspoken.
And when you tap and when you pay attention, you know what they are. When you pay attention to the people that you have relationship with, they may not always have to tell you. It's good if they do because it makes it easy, right?
Right.
But you have to pay attention to your relationships. Who you choose to do life with, you have to pay attention to those people and what they require and how they need to be handled, because we all have to be handled a certain type of way.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing while we're talking about toxic relationships. Let me just say this, guys. A lot of relationships, and just follow me on this and challenge me if you want to. A lot of relationships are not toxic. They could just be too much. I'm doing too much.
Overbearing.
Mentally draining.
Yes, there could be very needy people in relationships, but that can grow into toxicity if it's not addressed.
Yeah.
So it may not start that way, but it can turn into it. So that's why we have to be mindful of our relationships and how we go into it. And we always have to check ourselves before we can check
we are the
else.
first self-check. And if you notice in Walmarts and other stores now, they got a self-checkout just for you, so you won't be arguing with the cashiers
or the person in front of you.
or the person in front of you. Okay? Because guess what? In the self-checkout, you're responsible for all of it.
Yeah. And you have to have integrity in the self-checkout.
How about in being honest as well?
Yeah.
If you can't be honest with yourself,
I'm big on self-evaluations, self-assessment.
get out.
Yeah, all the time. I'm constantly looking. Okay, Marquia, where can you improve? Where did you fall short? What could you do differently? How could you have been better here? Because if we're not checking ourselves, don't leave it up to somebody else to check you. Check yourself, boo. Don't leave it up to somebody else.
Wow. Do you have any final thoughts about relationships, period? I am so glad you came on the radio with me today. Y'all, yes was weak.
No, this was not planned.
Right.
But
she loves to plan stuff.
I am a planner. But I do know how to adjust. And I'm not going to leave you hanging. I mean, we're friends. But do know next time It's a one-time only event.
Oh, listen. She just said another what? Boundary.
The first one, I'll let you go. Let you slide. But, yeah, it's all good.
And you know what, Paris? I'm thinking, too, we probably need to make a T-shirt about boundaries. Rebound. A boundaries rebound or something. Because girl, come on, we ready. We ready. We are so excited and grateful for all of you who have been watching here on IntellectualRadio.com, where you are tuned in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. with your girl Chevelle Simone on Soulful Stimulation. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday, every Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. Tune in to Wanda B. On He Said, She Said, here on IntellectualRadio.com. We are so glad and grateful for all of you that joined us today. Please come back and join us again next Tuesday, same time, same station. This is Chevelle with Soulful Stimulation here on IntellectualRadio.com. Thank you so much, Paris, for being in the room. Thank you, Marquia, and my team, Tamisha Downey and Shalise Nichols, and my girl over on the ones and twos, Wanda B. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye, everybody. Love you.